maximize your listings exposure. So who here has listings sitting on the market for a while? Keep your hands up. Past 30 days, past 60 days, past 90 days, past 120 days, 150, 180, 200.
I just put it under contract.
Oh, hey! How many days? How many days?
I think we were 220.
220 days on market. We just went under contract. What got it done?
We just found
We found the right buyer.
Community, so
Okay.
our buyer pool was really limited.
Sure.
It was just waiting for it. And they're still building there, so we were in competition with the builder.
Okay. Found the buyer though.
Challenging.
55
Yeah,
plus.
it was just the right person.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Nice. Congrats. Yeah, Ben and I have had a lot of calls with a lot of agents, a lot of meetings with a lot of agents, and it just seems honestly random. The conversations that we have on what listings are going under contract, what's sitting, some stuff's going, some stuff's not. I mean, think back to Q1 of this year, right, when it was a different market. But we felt it first down here. I remember we first started to feel the shift in the market here, and then it found its way back up into the Denver front range. Because I feel like early on, January, February, it was you had to have that home turnkey. Otherwise, you're kind of knocked out. Now it just seems to be random, just with everything going on. Now, this class was designed by Ben because we teach classes on Google Ads, we teach classes on Meta Ads, we teach other marketing strategies, and his genius brain said, let's just compile it all together into 1 hour and just kind of give a taste of these different ideas. This class, I think, is ideal for you if you have that home seller who's saying, hey, Ben, what's the update today? You know, and then one day goes by, hey, Ben, what are you doing now? And another day goes by, hey, right? These are ideas that are not going to cost you very much money, very, very little amount of money, and a little bit of your time. And you can implement them in your existing listings that are currently sitting. But also, too, you can implement these strategies moving forward into your listing presentations when you're going in to sit down with that home seller and share some different additional ways on how you can market to them and help them get their listing more exposure. Cool? Cool. All right, so let's talk about it. Digital and traditional marketing tactics, maximizing your listings exposure. So first things first, what I want to cover is maximum exposure, traditional tactics. We're going to cover 4 key strategies. So breaking that down, it's going to be first off Meta Ads, which is Facebook and Instagram ads. Then it's going to be leveraging Eventbrite.com. Then it's going to be leveraging Google Ads, and then it's going to be leveraging ShowingTime. Okay. We're going to cover some examples. We're going to show you some simple tools. There's a slide deck here, and we're going to be jumping in and out of this because this is going to be real practical application and doing things, okay? Kind of cover this, right? This class matters because you have listings sitting and we need to get more creative, or we have that seller who wants updates. What are we doing this week? What's the new thing? And these are great strategies that you can apply. So this is the overview. We just covered that. Let's jump into things here. First things first, section 1, Meta Ads, targeting real estate agents. I already know some of you in the room, either you're running Meta Ads or Ben and I have helped you set up and run Meta Ads. But this, without a doubt, I know I've been preaching this for years and years and years in so many classes, is so darn effective because these ads are incredibly cheap to run. They're incredibly targeted and effective. All right. Now, the traditional e-flyers, right? Let's talk about this. This is just the theme. I know we kind of covered this, but I was sitting down with a real estate agent probably about, 5 months ago. And he was like, Jared, I love keeping my email inbox clean. He's the kind of person, anyone else, he's the kind of person that reads every single email until he's at inbox 0. Everything's organized, or if it's not unread. I'm the same way. No, just me, I guess. All right.
I'm a 0.
You're a 0 inbox guy. All right. Right. So he's the same way. He's like, I love getting the e-flyers and I like to read every single one of them. But he's like, it's gotten to the point that I'm getting so many of these because all these listings are sitting, the agents are doing it, that now I just delete them and remove them unless they have a really catchy subject line, he said. And I've heard that a few times. So get creative with your subject headlines if you're doing the email blasts. But the point is I like to think about marketing, right? Let's put our marketing hat on. There's all these different streams of communication and all these different marketing channels that we can rely on. And in my opinion, from what I've heard over and over again from real estate agents, is that email is pretty dead right now in terms of getting exposure to your listing. So we have to hit these other channels. And the first one we're going to cover is Meta Ads. All right. Now, with Meta Ads, what's great about them, beyond just staying top of mind for your general business, which I always recommend, without a doubt, is we can run these ads to a targeted list of people, right? So think phone numbers, think emails. I know some of you in this room have heard me preaching this for quite some time. But the beauty of this is that when we run these meta ads, we can upload the phone numbers and the emails of literally anyone we want, right? So I know I teach my brand awareness class on running targeted ads to your database, your farm list, your past clients, your sphere. But other creative things that we have done to help real estate agents who have listings sitting is we can also run these ads to a list of real estate agents, right? Because we can take their phone numbers and emails and upload that data and run targeted ads to them, okay? So let's talk about that. Here's how it works. The concept is this, is we upload the list of phones and emails. Ben and I, we can pull a list of the top real estate agents in any market across the United States of America. So it's not just Colorado, it's anywhere. And what we can do is we can upload that data into Meta. And so for example, with Meta ads, what's great about these is instead of going one to many and trying to find the perfect home buyer, which with meta ads is pretty darn difficult to do. And the reason why is because it's very restricted. Quick refresher, back in 2018, right? Meta, at the time Facebook, got in trouble for fair housing. They put all these restrictions in place on what you can do with targeted ads. And they basically said, moving forward, anything real estate related, you have to check this box. If you don't check this box and it's real estate related, your ad is not going to run, right? So you check this box. The moment you check this box, your targeted radius jumps from a 1 mile to a minimum of a 15-mile radius, right? All those categories where you could target people who are in the market looking to buy homes, those are eliminated. They no longer exist. Really, the only option you have is targeting people who are interested in Zillow, which is a very, very, very large group of people. And it's not the most effective strategy because it's going to cost you a lot more money. Eventually, it will work, but it's going to cost you a lot more money to do it. And in my opinion, it's kind of finding a needle in a haystack in terms of how much money you have to spend in terms of your potential return. So there's that versus why don't we try to go one-to-one and try to find those agents who have those buyers who are already working and they're good producing agents, right? Say they're the top 7,000 agents in the Springs and the Front Range, and let's run ads to them, right? Because they're already getting blown up with the e-flyers. Some of them aren't seeing that. And let's expose the listing to them that way. Now, the beauty of this is that they're cheap. We run these at as low as $1 per day, right? And every dollar that we run the ads to, right, we can reach roughly 100 to 200 people, right? So very, very inexpensive, very, very targeted. So if you have a list of the top 7,000 agents between, I don't know, here and up through Denver Metro and wherever else we want to go, we can hit about 100 to 200 of them a day. Taking that concept one step further, if you ever have a listing that you believe might attract an out-of-state buyer, right? We're here in the Springs. If we have a listing nearby, Ben and I have done some research on who's moving here between Denver, the Springs, and all that. I think there were some similarities between Denver and here.
Kind of.
What did you have?
Guess the number one place, if you've heard this in one of our classes before, don't remember it or just don't answer it. The number one place people move from to El Paso County. Okay, Texas, where?
Oh, they're all over right now.
They're all over. We have it split out in like the number one county.
I would probably say Austin.
Houston.
Oh.
Houston's the number one place.
Interesting.
So, when we're done with this class, we can send you. I think the second, if I have off memory, was Hawaii, which I am assuming military.
Yeah. Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do too?
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
And they were on pause for a while with the shutdown.
Yeah, similar though. So Springs, right? We still got Texas. I was looking at Denver. We were looking at Texas. Top markets moving here. Texas, Arizona, California, some from Florida, right? We've got rounding out the bottom 5 markets. We're looking at Dallas. We're looking at Phoenix, Houston, Austin, Chicago, Los Angeles. So similar markets. The point is, if you ever have a listing that might attract an out-of-state buyer, we already have those lists. We've already done it because we've already done this to help agents. We can upload those lists and target the top agents in those markets who ideally, again, might have that buyer that's looking for a home in your market. So one, that's, again, another strategy for you on how you could help your seller if you have a current listing that might have that play. Or if you're ever going into a listing presentation, lean on us. We can help you facilitate and set up that marketing plan. All right. Moving on. Let's do this. Let's actually do some show and tell.
By the way, while you're pulling that up, one more thought would be if you want to, do a referral type ad and just say like, hey, I'm the expert here in Colorado Springs, and run your ad to Houston or parts of Hawaii or whatever. Jared and I could help you run that.
Yep. What we got? Top agents in other markets. Here's Dallas, LA, Orange County, right? List goes on. We've got it all broken down because we've already done this for other real estate agents, gosh, for the past 6 months. But back here, here's the deal. We're not going to get too deep into the weeds, but this is called the Meta Business Suite, all right? And in order to run these types of ads, you can't just boost a post. You can't do this by boosting. You have to set up what's called a Meta Business Suite. Ben and I are happy to send you a 45-minute tutorial on how to do this, or we're happy to sit down with you and help you do this. But I recommend taking option B, because once we get back here and we do set it up, you can now create what's called these custom audiences. And what these look like back here, because I'm a visual person, is when we're running these ads, we can run them as low as $1 per day. This is Ben's famous short sale ad that's now been running for, I think, over a year at $1 per day.
Have you guys ever seen this?
Let me see.
You have seen it? Some lady just texted me just over the weekend. She's like, you're in my newsfeed again.
Here's Ben's short sale ad that we've been running at $1 a day for I don't know how long, because it's working and just slow and steady. But you can see here, down here, this is the secret sauce, because this is a housing ad, because we're talking about short sales. We can't get around the Meta requirements. So we checked this as a housing ad, but the difference is, for whatever reason, Meta has not closed, I call it a loophole, this loophole. Or truly, honestly, you can target anyone right here, is you create what's called these custom audiences. And what they are, in their simplest form, is they're just groups of people, right? And you pick and choose the types of group of people that you want. Whether it's, people who visit Brad's website, or watched Brad's video, or visited Ben's Instagram account, or like Jared's Facebook business page, or my favorite one, we have at the very minimum a phone number and or email address of these people, and we upload that data, right? Because when Jillian creates a Facebook or an Instagram account, Jillian has to provide a phone number and email. We're just reverse engineering, finding Jillian and targeting her with an ad. All right? Questions on this? Make sense so far? Good. Question.
How come you don't have to check the real estate box when you're doing these targeted audiences?
We do. We do check the real estate box. We do. Yep. And check this out. Look at this. We check the real estate box, which is way, way, way up here. I'm not going to get into the weeds. Right here. Housing. There it is right there. Right? But we can still upload these custom audience lists. Truthfully, I don't know the reason why, but we can.
There's some print in there that, like, when you upload the list, it says that you're authorizing that you're not violating, like, fair housing, and we're not, because, unless you're, like, going way out of your way to violate fair housing, you're just uploading a list, just like you would send an email.
Good point, Ben.
You only targeted the list, or do you still have to?
Just a list.
Okay.
And that's why these ads are so cheap, because they're just targeting exactly who you want, not a random group of people, right? So, right, we're targeting people who have engaged with our Instagram, like our Facebook, have submitted forms, right, real estate lists, etc., right? Because obviously we're entitled, okay? And we're running this, look at this. We don't care about the 15-mile radius anymore, because we're running this within a 20-mile radius of Colorado Springs. So if you qualify, some of you in this room, right, for any of those lists that you're on, and you find yourself within a 20-mile radius within this pin, you might see the ad. And you can see it on Facebook or Instagram. All right? Make sense? Cool. So concept is that, but then we upload the top agents in the market. We run the ad, run it as low as $1 per day, and it's just mass exposure. Now, again, I want to set the bar low, right? I'm not going to say that you're going to do this and you're going to all of a sudden have someone call you up on day 250 and say, I saw the Facebook ad and this is it. But, it could happen. But I'm all about what's the price to value ratio, and the fact that I could throw $30 at this and get 3,000 to 6,000 views on my listing and it's one more thing, and I can track and share the analytics with the seller and say, this is what we're doing. We're doing everything to help you, right? It looks good. And it's a $30 bet with a big upside. Good? Cool. All right. We're going to move on. Next up, what are we talking about? There's my live demo. Okay, there's my live demo. Let's go into Eventbrite, eventbrite.com. Second idea for exposing your listings is using eventbrite.com. Who here is using eventbrite.com? None of us, one of us. To sign up or create events? To RSVP for events. RSVP for events. What about as an organizer for an event? None of us. Fantastic. All right, let's all learn. So eventbrite.com, you're familiar with it. You can sign up. People can create events. So the beauty of eventbrite.com is you could sign up right now for free and create an account, and you could start to actually promote your events. And the reason why it's free is because the kind of events that we're doing, truthfully, don't cost any money. Eventbrite makes their money typically off of the people who charge money for events. But for us, right, we could create an event on a broker open. We could create an event for an open house, and it could be free RSVPs. And we can leverage the platform for free up to a certain degree. So it's fantastic, all right? And the main reason why I'm really, really a big fan of Eventbrite is, truthfully, the reason why most of you are in this room right now. Because we can send cold emails to people that we've never talked to before, and they receive it and they open it and they RSVP to things, right? And it works. So I'm going to cover a little bit of what that looks like and why I think it's another effective way. And truthfully, it's just going to cost you a little bit of sweat equity. It doesn't cost you really anything. So let's just talk about Eventbrite versus traditional email blasts. Eventbrite, right, is in theory, in its own way, it's a platform for running your events, but they also have their own email service provider where they can send emails through, right? So instead of you sending an email blast through whatever, your company email, Gmail, whatever that is, we are now leveraging Eventbrite's platform to push your email out. And the reason why I like that is, one, in my experience, it has a very, very good open rate of getting emails opened. And then two, in the worst case scenario that we do upload, right, a list and we blast it out, and you hit someone with an email and they're having a bad day and they report you as junk, right? It's not as big of a hit on your email account versus if you're sending it from your own personal email, all right? So that's another reason why I love Eventbrite. So diving deeper into this, what this looks like is, what if we create a broker open, right? Maybe we want to do a broker open and we want to, again, create an experience where we can invite agents in the area to see this property. So we create the broker open on Eventbrite, right? Do all that. But then we can, same concept as before, right? You can talk to Ben and I. We can get you the agent list of the area of agents that you want to target, upload it in, and then you could push out via email an invite to this broker open very, very quickly. With the free account, you can send up to 250 emails per day. Or if you wanted to upgrade, you can send up to 2,000 emails per day for $15 to $20 per month, okay? Depending on what it says when you sign up, okay? Another idea, open houses. Anyone doing open houses? It's a trick question, hopefully yes, right? Open houses, another way to expand your reach with open houses. Same deal, create the open house for the event on Eventbrite. And then what you do is you can take your database lists, you can invite them, all your people, but also if you ever needed assistance, Ben and I have a tool that is called Title Toolbox, and within this system you can log in, we can give you access, and you can actually download the email addresses for the area that you want to invite to the open house. So what that would look like, I could open this up, load Title Toolbox, and the beauty of this system is you can actually download data anywhere, truthfully, in the United States. It's not just Colorado. But for the sake of today, say it's Colorado Springs, maybe you want to just get the word out to the neighborhood. Maybe you want to target the homes that are most likely to sell in the next 12 months because you want to get mass exposure to all those people and show them what you're doing to promote this one. You can do all that within this system, all right? So just know, again, other strategies to expand and get your open house more exposure is leveraging this system, Title Toolbox, and Eventbrite.com.
Tried to throw you off and gave it the little rainbow wheel.
Yeah, we're going to move past it. All right, moving on here.
It works
So,
just like the MLS, the little polygon thing. You can draw it where you want the email.
yep. So I'll give it one more shot. No matter how many times I check the box, remember this and don't ask me again. It doesn't matter. Oh, we're in. This is Title Toolbox, right? So I could do my boundary search, my radius search. Brad, you want to give me one of your listings?
Let's see, 515 Ponderosa.
515 Ponderosa. Woodland Park?
Manitou.
Crystal Park.
Manitou.
Manitou, there it is. Boom. Okay. Right? I take this, zoom in. Here we are. Drop a pin. Sure. Okay. Key account. You can run all your filters, right? You got your standard stuff. You can do owner occupied. You can, hit people that have owned the home for so long. You could, target homes based off of certain how much value they have. You could even target the homes that are statistically most likely to sell in the next 12 months. So right here, this filter, next seller, I just turned this on. Brad, you got 7 properties within this radius right there, right? I could download them right here and I could leverage that data. I could upload them to Eventbrite, could run targeted ads to them through Meta like I showed you. You do so many things. So that's this system. Quick walkthrough. Any questions on this so far? Okay, cool. Now let me show you Eventbrite.com. Right, so here's Eventbrite.com. This is my organizer profile, right? You'll see past events here. You'll see your followers and all that. You'll see your total events. But when you log in, there's 2 sides of Eventbrite, right? There's the side where you can RSVP for things, and there's the side where you can actually create your own events. So this is the organizer profile. When you log in here, you probably won't have this. You'll just have your ideal account load. And then you'll start to see events, right? RSVPs. And you'll see past events here, drafts, all that. But when you create your event, you'll do it right here. You'll create your event, and then you'll fill in your information. You'll add your image, all that. Why am I showing you all this, though? I'm showing you all this because once you've created your event, you're then going to go over here on the left-hand side to the marketing tab. And when you click on this marketing tab, it's going to push you to spend more money. Just ignore that. And you're going to go over to this section right here called email campaigns. All right. Look at this. So I am a heavy user of Eventbrite.com. I have how many? 1.7 million emails delivered, and I have a 51.4% open rate.
Wow,
It's not bad.
that's huge.
It's not bad, right? Okay. Unsubscribe rate, 0.3%. All right, we'll take it, right? And you can see, right, revenue is very low because I don't usually charge for anything, right? This is old. Down here, you can see your emails that have ran. You can see emails that have sent. You can do all of that. If I want to create a new campaign, I can click this. I'll just call it test. Click get started, right? I'll then come over here. Sure, let's choose this upcoming event that is supposed to be this afternoon, right? It fills in your information. You could even click right here, have AI try to write it for you. It does a, if you're in a hurry, decent job for you. You could tweak it, right? People can RSVP. Once that's done, you click continue. Once this loads, it's going to ask you, hey, who do you want to send this to, right? If this is your first time using Eventbrite, you'll have no lists. So what you will do is you will create a new subscriber list right here. And again, you'll name it, click continue, and then you will upload a CSV file with 3 columns. First column is the email, second column is the first name, third column is the last name. You'll upload it. You'll try to match all those email addresses as best as it can. You will then click done, and you will then select that list and click send. And then it will go out, depending on how many emails it is. If you have the free account, 250 emails per day. If you have the paid account, next level up, 2,000 emails per day. All right? Pretty straightforward. Question? Stretching the hand. Okay. All right. Any questions on this? Make sense? Anyone going to try this? No? All right.
On that, if you guys want like an agent list to do a broker open, Jared and I can help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to log into that program to pull the neighbors, Jared and I can also just help you do that, format it so that it's pretty
Three
quick,
columns.
plug and play. Yeah.
Just press the easy button and we'll help you. Right? Okay.
Who does that? Staples.
Is that what that the red easy button?
Easy button.
That's right. I forgot about that. All right. Cool. We're doing good. It's 10:37 a.m. We're moving right on. This is just kind of like a buffet of quick ideas here. All right. So moving on here, we covered Eventbrite 250 versus 2,000 emails. We did our live demo. And let's move on to, look at that, event ideas. Yeah, there's more stuff. You can also obviously leverage this for your client events, right? If you're doing events at 3 out of 4 breweries, you could promote them. Inside joke. Section 3, using Google Ads. Okay, who's using Google Ads? Boom. Brad, how's it going?
Pretty good.
That's what we want. Good. Anyone else? Okay. Let's talk about Google Ads. Why Google Ads are powerful. Google Ads, in comparison to Facebook ads, are, in my opinion, even cheaper. You can still run them at $1 per day, but you can reach even more people on the ads that I'm going to share with you how to do. And you can be much, much more targeted with these types of ads. So what this means for you, Meta versus Google. Meta, we shared 15-mile radius, very limited targeting, right? People interested in Zillow, versus Google Ads, think 1-mile radius, or even what they call privacy-safe neighborhoods, where they have deemed random neighborhoods as privacy safe that are even smaller than 1-mile radius that you can specifically target all day long. All right. Beyond just where you can target people, you can also target people who are in the market actively looking to buy homes. You could target people who are in the market looking to buy single family or new builds. You can target people who are renting. These are all categories that you have access to with Google Ads that you don't have access to with Facebook and Instagram ads, all right? So huge advantage here with Google Ads, right? If you're Brad and you got a YouTube channel, you can retarget your YouTube subscribers and people who are watching your videos and all those fun things too. It goes deeper and deeper. But we're not gonna go too deep into Google Ads. I just wanna share with you that it's out there and how you can set these up and run these, all right? So here's a concept. Since you can do more targeting of buyers, here's another idea for you all that I was actually thinking about last night, is you could create a buyer avatar around your listing. You ever thought about going into ChatGPT or whatever large language model you use, and you could say, hey, this is my listing, here's all the information on it, and just start asking ChatGPT, who do you think would be the ideal buyer avatar that would buy this? What does that look like? Who are they, right? I was sitting down with an agent, and we built a whole 10-page marketing plan that she then took and presented to her sellers. So again, don't forget about AI, right, and how it can leverage and really fine-tune who you want to target, because you can then leverage some of that information, right? They like to, I don't know, they're in their whatever age, which we can't necessarily target, but they have certain interests, right? Because this home is near this, and this. We could hone in on those interests and target that person. Okay, so what does this look like? Live demo. Ads.google.com. All right. Ads.google.com is the first step to running Google Ads. You will, if you have a Gmail account, you'll sign in or start now. You'll click here. You'll follow through all the steps. It's going to ask you information, right? You'll fill all this in, and eventually you'll get to a screen that'll be blank like this because you haven't ran any Google Ads in this account. Or you'll get to a screen like this, which actually has Google Ads in it. And this is essentially your home screen in comparison to what I shared with you earlier for Meta ads. Now, I get this is overwhelming probably to a lot of us, right, if we haven't seen this before, and that's okay. The way I really describe, honestly, ads in general, just good overview for you all, whether you're running Google ads or you're running Meta ads, is both of these systems, right, are advertisements, and they just hit different platforms, right? Meta ads hit Facebook and Instagram, whereas Google ads can hit your Gmail. They can hit display ads all over the internet. They can hit YouTube. They could be pay per click, those ones that people search for and that keyword pops up and you pay for that click, right? They can be in a variety of different locations. And again, putting our marketing hat on, I'm a big believer in a perfect world, I'm running Google ads and Meta ads because I just want to reach as many channels as possible, right? And even if I only want to throw $1 at it because, right, my budget is limited, you can do that, which I think is fantastic because there's a lot of ways to spend / waste money in this industry, and I'm sure we've all been there and wasted a lot of money. This is the way to do it, and this is the way to not spend a lot of money. Or if you just say, hey, I'm never going to do any of this, that was a nice class, but I'm not going to do it. At least you know a little bit more now if you ever decide to hire someone, and you know maybe some questions that you can ask them, because this is peeking behind the curtain on what these marketing companies that charge a lot of money, what they're doing. All right. So moving on here, this is Google ads. Now, when you log in and you look at this, right, again, it's a lot of stuff going on, but all you need to know is you can track your metrics down here. You can look at campaigns. And if you want to create a Google ad, you can click this create button right here, and you can create what's called a campaign. Now, again, comparing Meta ads to Google ads, the way they're broken down is think of them as 3 layers, and they both are the same thing. There's your campaign, there's your ad set, and there's your ad, all right? Or with Google, right, there's your campaign, your ad group, or your ad. Same deal. And the way they break it down is your campaign, what they ask you is, what's your goal? What do you want to do, right? Do you want to have a lead form pop up and have people fill it out? Do you want to just get mass exposure to this listing? Do you want to have people see your ad and then drive them to a website, right? What's your goal, right? Once you define that, then they're going to ask you, all right, well, where do you want to run these ads? How much money do you want to spend? And then who do you want to target, right? That's your ad set. And then lastly, what's your ad, okay? So that's the way these are all broken down. I just think of it, the way I'd like to visualize it is folders, right? Is right here, here's my campaign folder, then there's my ad set folder, and then there's my ads, all right? And we break it down within there. And the reason why this is just so detailed is because this is where, like I said, this is where the big marketing companies play. And they're spending a lot of money back here. We're spending not a lot of money back here, but we're still leveraging it, all right? So Google Ads, look at this. I could click here, I could click create a campaign. And it's going to ask me some things. It's going to say, oh, well, what's your goal, right? You want sales, you want leads, you want website traffic, you want to just get awareness, right? Maybe I just want to get a ton of awareness. And what that means is, hey, Google, take my whatever, $1 per day and get mass awareness and really squeeze every single, every single penny out of that dollar. Now, when I run these types of awareness ads, typically I get at least 300 impressions per dollar, right? I said 100 to 200 impressions with Meta. Google is significantly higher, right? So I'm spending $1, I'm getting 300 views, targeting exactly who I want on autopilot with whatever I want to run as an ad. So maybe I want to do awareness. And again, it's going to guide you through this, right? You just walk through it. Let's say I want to reach the maximum number of people because I want to impress my seller and I want to reach all people who are within this 1 mile radius who are currently looking to buy and really show them the metrics behind what I'm doing, right? Then it's going to ask you, well, where do you want to run these ads, right? What's your goal? Do you want to do video where you're going to reach viewers on YouTube to get conversions? Do you want to do display ads where you can reach potential customers across 3 million sites and apps? Let's go with display. Right? That sounds nice. 3 million. No, yes, you can add it on. So right here, video, you can hit some display ads where it's got YouTube and it's got the other location, but then also with display, we're going to hit Gmail as well. Anyone look at their Gmail ads? Probably not. Okay, so we'll start new. We'll click here. This is important. When you're running Google ads, they hide things on you. And I'm going to share with you the things that are hidden. You want to be very targeted and you want to enter a location within the advanced search feature. And this is where you can get more targeted. I could run a radius. I could do a 1 mile radius around any address, or I can even target certain neighborhoods. It's random. So if you're trying to start off with a neighborhood, start there and see if your neighborhood pops up. I'll give you an example just because I was helping an agent the other day run to this one. But here's Hilltop, which is a very, very, very small neighborhood in Denver that is one of the top average home price neighborhoods in the Denver metro area that you could target. And you don't have to do a 1 mile radius. You can actually type it in as a location. I just want to show you how small of an area this is. I mean, that is a very, very finite location compared to a 1 mile radius. But even the fact that I can get away with a 1 mile radius is really cool. All right, just roll with me on this example, right? You type in your location. I've got this, I click save. Okay.
Could you target like the military base, Fort Carson? Can you type in Fort Carson, see if it pops
Let's
up?
do it. Let's go advanced. Let's start off with location.
Colorado.
We have Fort Carson, Colorado.
Yep.
Right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Boom. Okay.
So you could also do that too. You could probably type in all the other, whatever, I'm sure there's a military base in Hawaii, they're all.
So we start typing them in, and then look at this. They hide this on you too. Be mindful of it. Presence or interest. So it defaults to people regularly in, or who've shown interest in your area, which is pretty cool. Or they've got presence, which is people in or regularly in your area, right? So you could either type in, I think in our scenario, if you got a listing, I would leave it here, right? People who are showing interest in this area, okay? But know that there's two options. Down here, I'm not going to mess with language. I'm not going to mess with political ads, right? If I click more settings, again, there's all this information here that you don't really need to worry about, other than starting an end date and starting a start time and an end time. Set your average daily budget. I want to do $1, right? The only advanced question it's going to ask you that you're going to need help on is this one right here, which is what do you want to focus on? And in this scenario, I just want to get the most squeezed out of my $1, get as many impressions, which are essentially views of my ad. And it asks you, all right, put your money where your mouth is. How much are you willing to spend every day to meet that objective? So what that says, it says enter your viewable CPM, cost per mil, bid for this ad group. What that means is for every 1,000 impressions, what are you willing to accept as a payment, right? I think a safe number for me, it's subjective, is I'll throw in 10, right? Is every 1,000 impressions, I'm willing to pay $10, right? That means, in theory, I'm getting at least 100 impressions per $1 spent, which I know I'm going to blow that out of the water and probably get 300. All right, so math, $10. Okay, click next. Down here, targeting. See how they hide this on you? This is the important part as well. Ad targeting. Suggest who should see your ads. I don't know, that's a good idea. Look at this. Who do we want to reach, right? We can browse, we can search. What's this one say? Residential properties. People interested in purchasing or renting residential properties. Okay, not bad. It's got renting in there though. What's this one? People interested in purchasing or renting residential or commercial properties. Like it breaks it down category by category. How about this one? People interested in purchasing residential properties such as houses, apartments, and condos. Sure, I'll click that one. Here's commercial properties. Here's houses for sale. People interested in purchasing a house or a townhouse. That's even more defined. New houses. People interested in purchasing a newly constructed house or townhouse. Okay, so you got a new build community, that would be the ideal option. Down here, here's your renters, right? Residential, commercial, okay? Moving and relocation. Pre-owned homes. People interested in purchasing a pre-owned home. So list goes on, right? And then you could start to stack your audience. What else do you want to target? So if you ran maybe a search on ChatGPT and it says, I don't know, this is people obviously looking to own, but they're also, I don't know, because your listing is near the mountains, they're into, I don't know, being outdoors and active and all that. You could start to build that avatar and really focus in on who maybe your ideal buyer is. And you would start to search that in there and stack those interests. Pretty cool? Anyone have questions on this? Okay, good? Okay. Once you've built out your audience, you're done. I mean, you can keep going deeper, right? I don't mess with any of this due to fair housing, so don't touch any of this stuff, right? But down here, keywords, topics, placements, ignore all that. I would focus just on that, honestly. And the last step, here's what's going to do is, right, I think a lot of us get a little nervous about like, oh, what's my ad going to be? What am I going to create? What's cool about Google ads versus meta ads is with meta ads, they kind of put you in a direction where you either have one video, right, or an image, or maybe a carousel of some images, and that's your ad. Versus with these types of display ads with Google that we're setting up right now, it's cool. What you can do is you start to fill in this information, right? So I could plug in the listing address here, right? I could start to fill in my business name, and I can add up to 15 images, and I can add up to 5 videos of my listing if I had it. And what's cool is you fill all this in. You fill in your headlines, and again, you could have up to 5 headlines. You could have up to 5 descriptions. And if you do all this, again, use AI, use ChatGPT to do all of it for you and create all of this for you. It will then run this ad, and it will start to test which image is the best, which videos is the best, which headline is the best. And it will automatically test and figure out which ad is the best performing for you, right? It's like your own little marketing manager. And then it will start to show you and push the ads that are performing the best. You just got to upload the stuff into it, okay? Once that's done, it's going to show you too over here, right? This is what it would look like. This is what it would look like. This is it on YouTube versus Gmail versus display. Once that's done, right, you click next. You confirm everything, set an end date, and click submit. And then it should launch in 24 to 48 hours roughly and start to run your ad. Okay? Again, I get it. First time through this, some of us, a bit overwhelming, but straightforward, that's how we would do it. And again, Ben and I can hold your hand and walk you through this as well. The last bit I'm going to share on Google Ads, just because I think it's important to know, is that you can also upload lists into Google Ads, just like you can with Meta Ads. And right here, within Google Ads, you can upload your list of people. So again, if you had your database, your sphere, you could upload that data in here, and you could run targeted ads to them on Google as well as $1 a day. So just be mindful that you can do the same thing with Google as you can with Facebook. Okay? All right, that was probably a lot. How are we feeling? We okay? Good, hanging in there? All right, we got 5 minutes left to show you one more thing. Question?
Yeah, so realistically on your spend, what do you see that actually brings some results?
Good question. For Google Ads, it comes back to what your objective is. If your goal is awareness and you're reaching, depends where you're targeting, how big of an area that is, and how fast you want the ads to be shown, right? If you're spending more per day, you're going to get more impressions or more clicks or more views depending on how you set that up. So it's going to vary depending on how much timeline you have, how big of an area you have, and what that looks like. In a perfect world, right, you can spend more money, ideally test more, ideally get better results if you're willing to have a bigger budget. But at least as a starting point, you could start at a lower budget, test, and see how it performs. 4 minutes left. Can I show you one more thing?
I think I put it on there till 11:30.
Oh.
Did I do that? Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Don't have to rush.
All right, cool. All right, last thing. So we did this. We did Google Ads. We covered through it. Section 4, ShowingTime. Do y'all use ShowingTime? Yeah.
Of course.
Do you guys have Broker Bay down here? No?
Not yet.
No?
No, most folks use
I don't like
ShowingTime.
Broker Bay.
Yeah. It seems I heard a stat only about 10% of agents really use Broker Bay. Yeah.
It's more complicated.
Yeah. Okay. ShowingTime. Cool. So you're familiar with ShowingTime, obviously, right? I was shown this about, 5 months ago by an agent. And I thought it was really cool. And I started sharing this with some agents, and it seemed like, I don't know, from my feedback, a lot of them didn't know that you could leverage this component of showing time. So I'm going to show you all something that might be of value. So last thing we're going to hit on is ShowingTime.com, which you use for showings. All right. Now, one thing that's cool about ShowingTime is you can actually log into the actual ShowingTime.com website, and you can see who is showing homes that are at a similar price point, bedroom count, in the same neighborhood as your possible listing, but for whatever reasons, they have not shown your home. And you can download that list of anyone who's shown homes in that area 30, 60, 90 days back. And that data to me is very valuable because I don't know, you all are the experts. Maybe somehow that someone applied the wrong filter and somehow your listing got filtered out for some reason, or you were just off of that price bracket or something. And again, like we're talking about, the goal of today is to talk about, unique out of the box ways that you can serve your sellers and really show additional sweat equity. You could download that list, and if I were you, because we talked about how I think email is just dead right now for a lot of real estate agents, you could just pick up the phone and call them and, try to pitch your listing to them and ask them, hey, why'd you miss mine? All right. So I'm going to share with you how to do that. ShowingTime.com. Does anyone go here? The website, right? The website's a little bit different than going through like PPMLS. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't tested this down here with the PPMLS market. So I'd be curious if anyone tries to do this and follow along what they see for results. But if you go to ShowingTime.com and you log in.
So this is your login through RE Colorado.
This
on this one.
This is someone else's login through RE Colorado.
I went directly to the website.
Okay, it took you to the website?
Mhm.
Okay.
Through your PPMLS
As a-
login.
No, just go to showingtime.com.
Okay. Here's what I'm trying to find. Now I've pinpointed it for this login through someone who's an RE Colorado user. Where I'm going to share with you where I'm trying to get you here, and it might be maybe a different display. I don't know if it's different on the tablet or what that looks like, but this is the old ShowingTime.com. All right. I want to get you to the new version of ShowingTime.com. All right. The old version has all these things and reports down here, but where I'm trying to get you to, they have it up here. Click on it. The new version of ShowingTime.com. I'm going to click on it. Do you see this?
It's hard to open up.
It's hard to open up
Yeah, I always have a problem with it.
on the phone. It's not mobile friendly. It's not a mobile friendly website.
It takes a while.
Shocker.
Yeah. I'm used to that.
Shocker. All right. So maybe this is a computer task, not a phone task. Here's the new version of ShowingTime.com. Left-hand side, you have reports. Do y'all ever run any of these reports out of ShowingTime? No? Where I'm trying to take you to is this report right here called the Target Market Analysis. All right? This graphical report displays which price range is getting the most showings. It's a perfect report to share with sellers when determining the starting price for a listing or making a price adjustment. Okay? If I click open this report, it's going to allow me to apply some filters. All right?
Is that report hidden anywhere?
It might be hidden. That's a great question. So, good question, because I've gotten some feedback from some other agents, is if you don't have this report, my understanding is it's a two-step process. The step one is to ask your brokerage why you don't have it. And step two is, I believe it's a $10 per month upgrade with ShowingTime.com to get it.
ShowingTime Plus.
Oh, big spender. Ryan's a big spender. $10 a month. All right, well, let me sell you on it. I'm not related to
Zillow
ShowingTime.
has also made some changes to the platform.
Oh, have they?
Like if you log into Zillow and your agent hub, and I have an agent hub, but
Yeah,
I don't do Zillow Flex or Leads or
Yeah.
anything like that. But they've made some changes.
Okay. Okay. So this is a ShowingTime Plus report. I'll come in here, type in whatever, right? Sure. I'll click here. Here's what's nice about it. I can filter up to the last 90 days, from 7 days to 90 days back, right? Say I want to pull the last 30 days. I can set up my price range. I can choose my bedroom account. Say it's 2 bedrooms, right? Choose my property type, run my price range. Let's just go, that's a pretty big area. Do we have the Springs in here? We do. Let's go here, sure. Again, I'm going super vague. I'm gonna uncheck Denver. But here's what I wanna show you is when I run this report and I click create report, just a quick heads up, it's a little finicky. Shocker. But when it does load, it will start to show you, of course, your average showings per listing. But here's the key ingredient. Here's what I'm looking for when I run this type of report, is it gives me the breakdown in the price ranges for these, what I run, 2-bedroom homes, right? And I can click on it. Obviously, this is Colorado Springs, so this is 183 buyer's agents at this price point, right? But I can click on this, and I can see the buyer's agents who have shown homes according to these filter metrics within the last 30 days, that their phones, I've got their emails, right? And I could download this data right here. And then I could, you know, if I wanted to, whatever, reach out to them, email, phone call, etc. Okay? So, something cool. One other thought on this. I think this is another value add if you are going into a listing appointment and maybe you don't have the listing yet. Because you could run this report real quick for the area, get the list of showing agents that have shown homes in that area, call them up, and I don't know the verbiage on this because you all are the experts, but something along the lines of, hey, I might have a listing coming online in this area. Would this be something that you'd be, you know, would your buyer consider to see, right? And that would be some possible leverage that you could have going into that listing appointment saying, hey, I've already done some due diligence on this home. I've talked to real estate agents in this area who have buyers looking in this area. And I don't know how to word that. But again, it's one more thing that you have that you could leverage. Does that make sense? Okay. Questions on this? Good? Good. ShowingTime.com. So it's plus. Okay. Last thing. Down here is conclusion. Recap. We covered Meta Ads, Eventbrite, Google Ads, ShowingTime.com. Try those out if you'd like. Something different again, right? I want to set the bar low. The fact that you could leverage your time or a little bit of money on ad spend can go a long way, and you can reach highly targeted groups of people, whether it's the real estate agents or home buyers through Google Ads, or uploading your list of people through Eventbrite, whether it's homeowners or agents, and really, really push the needle on what you can do. So that was a lot for some of you in the room. Again, reach out to me and Ben. We're happy to help you out, whether you need certain lists, whether it's agent lists or neighborhood lists, or you just need help with setting this stuff up with whether Eventbrite or Google Ads or Meta Ads. That's why we are here. That's what we can do to help you. So we're happy to sit down with you one-on-one. And then lastly, one more time for the QR code. If you want to get a monthly email of all of our upcoming classes and events that we're going to send through MailChimp, not Eventbrite, you'll get that. And then we'll send you one text per event as well, because we find that texts are typically the best way to reach people. That is the end.
Good job, your first time.
First time. I planned for an hour. All right, so you guys get some extra time back in your day. All right, but that's the end of the class. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Hopefully something was beneficial.
We'll send you the recording as well.
We'll send you the recording with the thumbnail that Brad made this morning before the class. And we're going to do more stuff. So just to kind of put you on the radar here, a couple of things is we've got more classes coming up. One thing that I've started doing, I just did this up in Denver last week, is I've done a lot of AI classes. But now I've gotten some feedback and I've started to do AI workshops. So we're going to have we're building it out right now. We've got like a 101 and then a 102 and then a 103. And it's not necessarily steps in terms of they get harder. It's just different workshops will cover different little things, right? So for example, 101, we actually dive into ChatGPT because I've found that a lot of agents are really only leveraging about 5% of it. And we show you how we walk through it. You come and show up, laptops out and we show you how to personalize your chat GPT. Then we show you how to create a GPT, right, or a project. And then we cover a few other things. That's 101. 102, I'm still building it out, but guess what, Brad? It's going to have Nano Banana in it, right? Where we're going to show you how to virtually stage a home for free through Gemini, or create a new headshot, or like I did the other day, remove someone from your team photo using AI. Because it happens, right? It's like you take the photos and then someone leaves the team. So we're gonna cover that. Right, we're going to cover the Captions app, which is some AI video editing software. So just throwing that on your radar. That's going to start coming in January. We're going to sit down, do work, because I think that's very effective, where we just slowly implement a few things and then everyone gets it done, and then you kind of move on. So that's it. Thank you again. Reach out to us if you have any questions. We'll follow up with you, and have an amazing day.